So you keep all the great things about it, balance it with the suspension of magnetic rod control, and I don't know if you noticed or not, but these Brembos aren't too far off the cars that go 200 miles an hour. These are 13.6-inch ventilated rotors with 4 piston calipers in the front, 12.4 on the rotors in the back, and 2 piston calipers. Then, here comes all the safety technology. These are options. Some of them are options, like the full color head-up display with adaptive cruise control. We have close range and long range radar going out of the front. We have radar in the rear that takes care of your side blind zone coming out of the rear quarters. And when you put it in reverse, that focuses in mostly on cross path detection. This car will automatically brake, warn you, and stop for you forward and reverse at slow speeds. High speeds, we'll identify what it does in a minute. But let's just say you're looking in your camera back here on your screen. Your ultrasonics are covering this area and they're not talking to you, nothing's happening. You're backing out at the grocery store and all of a sudden your car vibrates your right hand side of your body and stops. All of a sudden somebody goes whipping behind you. So it can see that out behind the car. It warns you in your seat. If you're looking to the right, somebody's coming from the left this way and you're going one of these and all of a sudden your car vibrates left and stops, that's because something's coming from this direction. So it'll do that for you, and at high speeds, it'll do everything it can, basically, except drive your car to try and warn you that the guy is loading up on his brakes or a refrigerator just fell off the truck in front of you. It will hit the brakes before you could have if you're staring at it. It'll chime, vibrate, continually hit the brakes harder, hoping that you're about to hit the brakes. It loads up the brake assist, so if you come to out of a sound sleep, and all of a sudden it's right there, you're hitting those brakes, they have all the energy they could possibly have. But know this, you know, if you don't wake up, you are going to have an accident. It will hit the brakes absolutely as hard as it can before impact to try and reduce that impact. So this is that new technology, and all of that for under, or let's say in the mid-60s area. Now here's some more things that are really amazing. The head-up display, you can see what gear you're in, let's say, as far as 1 through 6 if you're tap shifting or if you're paddle shifting right here. It's full color and reconfigurable. You'll also have a phone icon and your navigation in there as well. The Q system, by the way, there's some film up here you might catch as I'm talking about it because this won't be as easy for everybody to see. I'll open all the doors actually, and then I'll direct you across our floor where you can all get around a big flat screen and get a great demonstration over there by Jenna. But Q stands for Cadillac User Experience. And first of all, I touched the bottom down here on the bottom of the faceplate below the screen, which is 8-inch, and it's a capacitive touchscreen. That means I can pinch and expand and touch and sweep and flick my way, just like our tablet technology and our iPhones. And you can do it safely because you get a haptic response. For those of you behind the car now, you can see the big icons on that. So they're a big target. So as I drive, I can hit that target and look back to the road and know that I've got it because it clicks and vibrates, and I can drag it up and put it on a work bar, a text, SMS texting. So I can go through navigation and I can go through, let's say, radio details as far as what I'm doing in the vehicle, and that way I can still see that. Now, for some of you who can see what I just did there, I opened up the faceplate. That reveals a 1.8 liter Covey that has a grippy material, is lit, and has a USB plug in there. So finally, we've got a great place to put our cell phones and our iPods. You can plug in one iPod there and close that back up, so my phone is paired and inside the dash. That's safe. That means I'm not even going to think of touching it, texting-wise and phone call. So as I'm driving down the road, if that text light blinks, I can simply say, read my text, and the computer is going to read that to me. Now, it might be my wife saying something like, hey, where are you? So I'm going to say reply, and there's 10 different lines of I'm busy, I'm driving, very generic responses from the auto manufacturer. You can change these. So my wife and I have one that goes like this. I'm running 5 minutes late, LOL, ha ha ha. That means I'm an hour late, right, in my house? So I see that's line 5. I can say line 5 or touch line 5. Now that goes back to her. So she might not be so thrilled, you know. So the next one that comes in, I might have to explain myself. So I could actually hit MMS, still text, not make a phone call, and then give a voice recording that says, hey honey, I'm just messing with you. I'm on time, I picked up the dog at the groomer, and by the way, we've got 2 more for dinner, so get out of the shower. You know, so that might be something that obviously I'm not going to have in my normal menu, but something that applies. And obviously you can always make a phone call on this as well. So these things are doable while you're driving down the road. And how about this? If I'm in navigation on this center screen, I can sweep it from here once I pick my route to this screen over here. So I'm not looking over there, I'm looking down here, and it's easier. And that means that I can reconfigure that 12-inch screen in 4 different levels: simple, basic, or simple, balanced, performance, and enhanced. So you go no gauges, 3 gauges, 2 gauges, or a menage, or let's say a collage of different gauges with nav in or out of a gauge. And again, if you're in phone book, you can do that as well. Just a little bit more and I'll let you go. You can pair 10 Bluetooth devices in there. That's a 5-seat automobile. That means 1 phone per seat and an extra Bluetooth device per seat. How did we make this apply? I'm driving from LA to Vegas. I'm bumping with my buddies and we're listening to country and they're sick of it. So we've got 2 USB plugs in that center console, so 2 more devices plugged in and an SD card. Now we're way over the top, right? So I got SD, 3 USBs plugged in, and 10 devices paired. 2 can be active at the same time. I hit that button on the steering wheel because they're all yelling at me. They want to hear Dr. Dre. So I hit the button on the steering wheel and say, let's hear some Dr. Dre, just like that. It looks into all the devices that are plugged in or that it can see, and I get a playlist up very quickly. And what it does is it does an aggregate gather from all those, and it pops it up at a rate of 300 MIPS. Times 4. That's fast. That's 1.2 billion pieces of information. That is Q. Now, hopefully, none of that is any scary to you because it's so easy to use. You have thumb rockers on both sides of the steering wheel that only go up, down, left, and right, and select. So you can see it move on your gauges. I can select the 4 different levels. So it's very easy to use and very safe as well. And you can kind of grow with that experience with your car, and you can start today by going over on the other side of the floor and looking at our Q demonstration. If you have any questions on any of this, my name is Cliff. I'll be happy to help you here today, and we have a full team of product specialists on the floor and our information counters right over there if you want some literature. Thanks for stopping by. That's how we roll. Welcome to Cadillac.
1986 Chrysler Jeep Cherokee Sport. GMC